Hi, this is White Rider, and
This is Jerry Yusko
we're talking about ET contact today.
on ET Corners.
Yes, and Jerry has a lot of experience with extraterrestrials called the Tall Whites. I'm very curious about these Tall Whites. You have introduced me to them, and they seem very nurturing and high vibration is the impression I get. Tell us a little more about what are the Tall Whites all about?
Well, they're very stern, disciplined beings. They are very benevolent, but they definitely believe in teaching lessons if one needs to be learned. And their origination, from what I was told, is at Area 51 because they like the high heat from their own planet, which I have been on. And they
Which
had come.
planet is that? Their planet. Where are they from?
You know something? At this moment, I actually forget. I know
Zeta?
No. I forget if it's in the Orion system or not. But it's a it's a binary star system.
They're from a binary star system.
Mm-hmm.
A planet in a binary star system. Okay.
Yeah. And they do wear a protective covering over their eyes because of the high intensity of the light.
Here or there?
There, as well as here.
Oh, both.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're saying they like the heat of the middle of the desert?
Yes.
Because that's a lot like their environment on their planet?
It's a lot warmer for them. If you notice that when I showed you the two statues I have, even though they're statues, they still like to stay warm, so they had blankets on them.
Oh, that's why you put the blankets on them.
Yes.
So in another video, Jerry shows us his special statues that he have, which are connected energetically to two Tall Whites that he has a close relationship with, who you met here on Earth, but since have returned to their planet, but left the statues here as a connection. Is that right?
Actually, I didn't know anything about them. There was a lady named Cynthia, and she used to make different statues of different races of beings out in the cosmos. And I was at an event with her one time, and she had to go to the restroom, and I said I'd watch her booth. And while she was gone, a tall white figure dressed in a blue or navy blue gown or outfit, whatever way you want to look at it, came toward me and told me that I would need their services and I needed them as a statue in the future. But she had nothing that looked like them on her table.
So she had a whole table full of these statues, but none of them looked like the Tall Whites that you're connected with.
Referring to, yes.
Okay, so she didn't have a Tall White statue.
No. So and it was a male that approached me.
This was at an event?
Yeah, with the extraterrestrial contact event. And I believe there was the one in Laughlin.
Laughlin, Nevada.
Uh-huh. So, to make a long story short, when she got back, I described what I saw, what they told me, and I asked her if she basically, first of all, knew who the beings were. And she goes, yes, she was quite familiar with them, and that she would make me a couple of statues, because they come in pairs, basically. So, the next time I saw her, she did have the statues. One was a strong female energy, and I call her Shantara. And the other one was a weaker male, so I did not really want him. But then as months went by, she said that she needed another partner.
Shantara did.
Uh-huh.
Now, when Shantara was communicating, we were on this earlier about the different ways people channel and get telepathic messages. So Shantara was now communicating with you telepathically, telling you they're lonely?
Yes.
The statue was lonely.
She was lonely.
Okay, and was this when Shantara had already gone back to her planet?
No, there are people that believe that they have different parts of them throughout the universe. And they take some of their energy and they can put it into a different, I guess they'd be material object. And that's what they did. So when Cynthia was making them, she would harness a part of their essence, or actually their spirit, which we call souls, into the physical, I guess it'd be the physical statue that she was making.
This is her special craft that she does for people.
And she used to make them for all kinds of people around the world. And I'm not the only one who would report back that they had special gifts, special powers. People have claimed that they have actually healed people or healed them, that they actually have a communication with them, that they can feel their presence. And they will let you know if they like you or don't like you almost immediately.
So I was holding this statue. It's very heavy. It's not just a little doll. I mean, this thing is a real statue.
Yeah.
It's kind of big. And I felt a very strong warmth from the statue, like there was some vibrational healing going on and bonding, like you were saying. It felt really good and uplifting. And you just kind of hold the statue, and people have said that the statue has helped heal them from things, right?
This is what people reported back to me. When I would take them with me, I used to teach, and even in my classes, when I would bring them, people would either say they were having conversations with them mentally, or when they touched them, they could feel pain relieved from their body. I didn't tell them about this basically as much as they could feel it from them. So I didn't tell them what to experience. I just said, these are what people have said before, and I do not know what they'll be doing with you, if anything at all. So it's really interesting. And one day, White Rider, we are going to have them on display. So I'm letting people know now. And we're going to ask people to share their experience of what they really feel about their presence, whether they have any contact, whether they feel any different, and get feedback from different people, because they are very special beings.
Okay, so now going back to where we were you had one statue, and the Shantara ET was telling you, I'd like a companion.
Yes.
So was this message coming to you from her, from far away, from the statue, or just kind of coming into your head? How did you receive that communication?
It was actually coming from the statue.
Okay.
She was communicating with me.
And it was telepathic.
Yes.
Okay. And she's basically saying, find me and then you ended up finding a companion.
Well, I asked Cynthia, I called her up and said, can you please make me another tall white Zeta being? Because Shantara is lonely. And she did. She made me another one. And when I first got her, I didn't know what to name her. So a friend at that time took her, and they communicated with each other, and then she gave me back a name, which is Athera. So my second tall white, her name is Athera, and Shantara, who is my original first. And believe it or not, I actually feel love for these two beings, even though they are statues, because they emanate energy from them, and I'm susceptible to that energy.
Very interesting. So you have this ongoing relationship with these two tall white zetas, extraterrestrials, Shantara and Athera. And so rather than trying to astral project to their planet, which is where they're at now.
No, they're in the statue as well.
They're in the statue as well. So it's easier to communicate with the statue right in front of you rather than try to...
No, I've actually been to their home planet.
Oh, tell us about that.
Well, I've been there two ways. One, as far as being schooled in the etiquette of different races, because different races do correspond with each other, whether it be through trade, technology, travel. So what they do is on different worlds to learn the customs, to learn the etiquettes of the different races. They'll invite them to their planet, or they will host. And basically what they do is they teach other races the etiquettes and the mannerisms of the species. So like Tall White will teach the Pleiadians, or the Arcturians, or even the Greys, or whatever races there might be, how to correspond and act accordingly to the customs of the Tall Whites, which they don't really call themselves Tall Whites, we call them that, but the Theta beings and their customs and how to honor each other in respect. And so I was at one of these trainings, and at the end of it, I got up, and there were 3 teachers, and I got up and I walked down to them and I asked them a question about the human race, which they could not answer. And this is what changed my whole life. Because they could not answer the question, they honored me with saying, at this point, you are a teacher to teach others as well. Which means I understood my spiritual involvement to a point that I could also teach other races the etiquettes and the traditions of what it means to be human, which was a great honor. And this is why I've been saying, when you truly understand what it means to be a sovereign being, you stand equal to all other beings, not within the physical presence of what we are, but within the spiritual aspect of our creation to each other. Do you understand that?
Wow. So what you're saying is, rather than thinking about these ET races as being very superior, and we know they are extremely intelligent and they have very advanced technology, that we should think of it more like we're on an equal level and we're just different.
And we're just different in physical structure. That's it.
And we have as much potential as they do to astral travel and gain more wisdom and be on their level.
Yes. We are on their level in a lot of different ways, but the human race is taught to be underneath submission of our own race. And that is where the Chandler, Valanthor, and other races that have came here trying to teach us is, don't let the small majority of people suppress the consciousness of collective knowledge of what we are with each other and divide us. Because that's why when you were talking about them trying to teach us love and everything else, it's because a lot of us are divided on our belief systems where they are not. And I can show you examples of this in the future.
Future videos that we will make.
Yeah.
Wow, that is very profound. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe, because there's going to be a lot more information posted here about these subjects as we continue to connect with the extraterrestrials, continue to gain more and more wisdom, and learn more about our own sovereignty.
And that's what it is. As we move up into the 5th dimension, 6th and 7th, when we understand what our sovereignty is, because we are truly in our power of divine energy as a creation, being among the different masters or races of extraterrestrials, we walk equally among with no fear.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.